everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here with Bish's RV, and I've been like a kid in a candy store lately with like all the restrictions taken off of me and suddenly being able to record pretty much anything in the industry. I've been having a lot of fun, but surprisingly, what caught my attention just now, despite all these big, flashy, fancy things, was this humble little engine that could. This little Primetime Tracer LE. This is a simple, no-slide bunkhouse that, for lack of a better phrase, knows how to stay in its lane, and it really kind of earned my respect very quickly. So here's what I mean. Like I've been in this industry long enough. I've been doing this longer than Primetime's been around. So I was there when they were birthed, pushed out of their Forest River womb, as it were. And when they first came out, I sort of looked at them. I was like, well, they're okay. There wasn't anything wrong with them. There just wasn't anything that really caught my attention. But the last couple of years, Primetime's really been showing me something. I feel like they finally found their stride, and they really know who they are at this point. And I think this is a really good example. So like, this is a super popular layout, really launched to superstardom by like the Keystone Passport, and since then, like, everybody and their brother who builds lightweights definitely has something like this. But what I'm really seeing out of Primetime is like they figured out who they are, who they're not. They know how to stay in their lane. This isn't trying to pretend something to be something it's not. It's not trying to be or trying to pretend it is the biggest, flashiest, fanciest thing out there. It's a simple, straightforward floor plan, and I think it's really good for people like, okay, I like that layout, but I don't want to stick in tin camper, but I don't want to go broke buying one of these things. It is a more budget-focused lightweight, which is a harder thing to find in today's market versus kind of how it used to be. It's very disciplined and restrained. It's never over the top. You could say it's simple. It's not the most upgraded, flashy thing that they have. But I like that. I respect that. And there's definitely people for whom that works. Like, I might actually personally be a good example of that. I don't camp fancy like Applebee's. I am just a simple Midwestern boy. I don't need flashy, shiny shoes, razzmatazz. But something like this, I still get that easy clean and fiberglass. I get the lighter weight aluminum build. You know, a smaller truck or bigger SUV could handle something like this. There's some good things going on here, I think. The first thing that kind of caught me in here was the color palette. It's not tan. It's not gray. It's like grayish. And we're gonna, as we go through this, like I said, there's 100 little points where you could look and go, oh, well, it doesn't include this, that, or the other thing. No, it doesn't. It's not trying to be the most feature-laden RV out there, but it's a really smart build, I think. For a working person, a casual camper like me, like, I don't live in the RV, this is all I need, and frankly, then some. Like, I love the fact that it still has central air. That's really nice, because those rear corner bunks, that rear bathroom, without central air, those things can get hotter than downtown Hades, basically, back there in the sunshine. Although the white exterior package on this will certainly help a lot with that. The other thing here, this is a full 8-foot wide camper. There's a lot of floor plans in a similar vein that are like somewhat narrow body, but that means this is still a 4-person dinette. It's still a very family-focused floor plan, which are some of the best 3Fs you can run into. Another thing I liked about it, I like the way they did the entertainment. Just that sound bar up there, AM, FM, Bluetooth, but it's got, like, you know, HDMI plugs and auxiliary inputs and stuff like that if you want to, you know, add some things. And, like, I don't go camping to watch TV. That's not what this floor plan's about. But if you wanted to, it is kind of just prepped and ready right there for you for one. Now, by the way, they're using a Furrion air conditioner system, so despite the fact this is a small trailer, they actually are using a little bit larger, more powerful air on this thing. You'll be breathing icicles in here. And then, common features everybody and their brother seems to ask for. We want windows on the door side so we can check out our campsite instead of the neighbors. Got it, you know. Walk around bed. Got it. It is a queen, or a camp queen. It is not a true queen. There is room if you wanted to go with a longer bed, you could. You would probably need to build an extended bed deck base to accomplish that. But it's also pretty good if you're a little bit, say, like, claustrophobic. because the hanging wardrobe closets don't come all the way down to those just huge side stands. Now, did you notice that little motion light kick on over here? You see some of that in the pass-through later in the video. You get yourself near it, it kicks on. Now, if you want to, you could turn that off. You could also just turn it on. There's two ways that could be interpreted. I think you know what I meant, though. I also liked, they put a very generous amount of lighting in here. That is something, when you start getting into stuff that's a little more budget focused, you don't usually run into. And that's, I think, really what Tracer has figured out. They've really figured out where they belong, they've dialed it in, and they've kept their pricing in check a lot better than a lot of other brands that have just struggled with just like runaway freight train pricing. Now the floor here, it is ventless, it is carpetless, and it is easy cleaning, which is great. Because unfortunately, we are at one of the only dirt floor displays you will ever see us have, and we are sweeping these things out constantly. The good news also, we don't do hidden dealer fees at Bish's, and we will make sure that these are cleaned out for you, before you take them home. Also, chances are, like, this is just one camper that happened to be here. You could visit any of our locations. This is probably not the one you're taking home anyway. Now, this kitchen isn't huge, but the space they have, they did good with storage. And let's just call a spade a spade. It does not have a lot of prep space, you know? This is not the kind of camper where if you're going to be cooking up a storm, you're going to spend a lot of time inside. I think it's good for cooking outside for the most part. You can cook a couple things inside if you want. Although, I do like that big sink so that if you do have big stuff outdoors, you know, you can actually get it in here and soak it and clean it and stuff like that. See, I have this method, fellas, that what you do is you put something in the sink to soak. And then, you know, you go outside and you get back to visiting, and then come morning time when you go back to get that dish, because you are absolutely going to get it, right? Well, it just magically disappears, and I think that's because of the magic of the dish fairies. Now, I've actually had people ask, because if you look at this, if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't overtly see a furnace. That little white circular vent there, or no, black circular vent over there, and the one over here next to the converter panel, those are your heat ducts. And the big black thing under the refrigerator, that is a larger 12-volt compressor fridge, by the way, that is your, like, furnace intake. So, yes, it does have heat being distributed through the entire RV. It's almost funny looking at this one, because it is, you know, it's no slides, it's simple, it's straightforward, there's not a whole lot going on here. The command panel is, like, hilariously blank on this thing. Two light switches, one for inside, one for outside, and an awning. That's it. There is some storage below the dinette as well. You know what? Let's go ahead and open that up, shall we? One little thing I would like to see different, and I would actually like it, as we go through this video, leave me a little comment. Let me know your one favorite thing and the one thing you'd change given the opportunity. The one thing I would change given the opportunity right here is I would actually knock the back out of the dinette there where it would bleed into this storage cavity so that it would basically create a shoe garage, because it wouldn't cost anything, because, you know, you don't the goal that I think Primetime has here is to have something that, you know, it checks a lot of the boxes, it's nice enough, but never over the top. But they're using good materials where it matters, like a lot of aluminum structuring. And you can see here under the dinette, they're using plywood decking, you know, something that's just a little stronger, gonna hold up a little bit better. They had a little extra space here, kind of in the TV hookup sort of area. And they added this extra little cabinet. And it's not massive, but you know what? In a bunkhouse like this, storage is hard to come by. That could really be helpful. Now, this is not a folding bunk. This is not a cargo bunk. I don't dislike those features, certainly. But again, they are keeping themselves a little bit disciplined and restrained to help keep their price point in check. That makes this just more affordable, more accessible to a lot of people. And tell me that wouldn't be just a perfect little pooch palace down there. Inside the bunks, looking around, not a whole lot going on. I really didn't expect a whole lot going on over here. You know, a light and USB plugs over there. Interestingly, there are no USB plugs up top here. And you do have the one window. Does that open for airflow? Can I reach? Oh, good. Go, gadget arms! Oh, that was a long stretch. And yes, that does open for airflow. Oh, hold on. USB plugs on the bottom bunk, household plugs on the top bunk. So little bit of kind of a 50-50 split there. Now, the bathroom over here, let me get this open for you. It's a little dark at first because kind of like the main entry door, you have yourself a little motion activated light. So it can kick on, you know, when you need it. And again, you can turn that off. You can turn it to the on position all the time when you want to, or you can leave it on motion mode. This shower was a surprise. So first of all, 6.5-foot sidewall. My head absolutely has to be in that like combination skylight and vent, which again is a very price smart way of building things. But what surprised me is, did you see in that quick little clip I inserted there? I was sitting in the shower. This has, pardon my footprints by the way, this has a huge shower with a corner seat that I don't think I've ever seen in a bunkhouse this size. The toilet space was not bad. Now, there's a couple of things I'm going to mention. Like, if there's a few little preferential items you'd like if you'd prefer a porcelain toilet, that's an easy swap. You give our team a call, that's easy stuff we can do. Something else I was glad to see is instead of just a mirror glued to the wall, it is a full medicine cabinet. And there's another one of those motion lights above. I'm only using one of the 2 lights in the bathroom, but man, I think it's plenty. And if you really want to feel self-conscious, you want to flick on that overhead light so it casts straight down on you and shows every little wrinkle and crevice in your face, well, be my guest. And like I said, the message on the inside is really the same as the outside. It's simple, kind of plain, straightforward, but it's not over-the-top flashy, fancy, in your face, heavy, or expensive. You know, heavy and expensive, those are things people typically don't care for. So simple, smaller, lighter, you know, it gets the job done. What I actually kind of like about concepts like this, though, is there's some logic actually to getting something that is a little bit simpler, saving the money up front, and then just adding a couple things here and there. And I think these steps actually are a good example. If you would prefer stable steps, call us. We can put those on. But as opposed to a bigger, more expensive camper that already has them, you can save a mint here and just add 1 or 2 little upgrades and then basically laugh all the way to the bank. Now, I've learned something in this display. This is one of the only dirt floor indoor displays you're ever going to see us do. But I've seen like a couple footprints in a couple little wetter spots, basically. That is somebody... I'm doing my CSI, my camp scene investigation. That is somebody who was messing around on their phone and not paying attention to where they're walking, which made me realize everything we've been told is a lie about the dinosaurs. Anytime you see a dinosaur footprint, that is because that was a dinosaur who was messing around on their phone and not paying attention. I might want to run that past Bill Nye the Science Guy or maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I'm pretty sure that science holds up. Another thing here, one of the most common requests I hear on our channel here with a camp kitchen is, can I get it without that? Can I get that removed or whatever? Well, you don't have to on this one. It just doesn't come with a camp kitchen. If you're looking for something that has a camp kitchen, we've got plenty of other trailers that do that. We're backup camera ready. Like I said, it's kind of a, it's a bare necessities sort of camper. It covers all the main details. Aluminum framed, lightweight. Oh, also, one of the other nice things, I was honestly not sure this is something I was going to run into, but even this series still has a heated enclosed belly. So it checks the big boxes. It just doesn't get too far into those smaller preference sort of things. And remember, there's 2 types of tracers. There's the simple, and then there's the little bit more stunning Ultralite series over there. And if you hang with us, you hit that subscribe button, I'll have more and more opportunities to cover all that stuff for you. So as always, best wishes from Bishes. Folks, let me know what you think about this camper. You take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.